So here's what we ended up with. YZ250 frame with a TTR230 motor grafted into it. I used the under cradle, removed the under cradle and used the engine as a stressed part. And the skid plate is an integral stressed part with that. It replaces the under engine cradle. So all the specs for the dimensions of the suspension are YZ spec, YZ250F, and that's a 2004. And if you look up the specs for that, you'll see that the stock seat height at the lowest point is 39, and I reduced that to 37 inches. The ground clearance for this motor at the skid plate is 12 inches, so that's plenty of ground clearance. And so I'm really happy with that. A couple of things on this side I'm not really happy with is the carburetor. I had to use a graft plate or an adapter plate right here to meet. So I'm gonna have to come up with something else a little different on that. Also don't particularly care for the way the side cover comes on the outside here of the stock air box. That's just a minor gripe for my consumption, but anyway, it works like it is, looks good like it is, so I'm happy with it. I'm probably going to make a change at some point with it. Did a new seat cover with the Guts Racing seat foam. Really happy with the Guts Racing product. You can have a long day in the saddle and not come away sore. I did use the FMF muffler that came with the TTR. I had to fabricate a bracket underneath here to mount that with, but it works. And you'll see right here the mount does not line up, so I'll have to cut this loose and retig it slightly to the rear to make that come out correctly. Graphics did okay. Of course, I made it loud. It is a 230, so I wanted people to know what it was. And otherwise, that's pretty much the build. It looks good. It rides okay. I converted the rear wheel to an 18-inch, and right now I've got the Shinko 110/80 on the back right there, and I'm looking forward to getting to use that. Then I went with the Shinko 216 up front 21-inch, and this is all virgin. Plastics are all new. I used white YZ plastic, kept the shrouds that came with it, and just put the graphics on it to make it look a little better. A little bit of detail down here. One of the things I wasn't quite as happy with is the location of the front sprocket. It's a little bit farther forward than the stock YZ250F, but as you can see, right there is the engine mount, and I could not get that to line up with the swing arm bolt, so it's pushed forward at least 1.5 inches right there. And to fix the length on the breather tube, I just put a piece of pipe right there, just cut the hose and just extended it with that pipe. And you can see the YZ tank and petcock. I just plumbed that right straight in for the stock carburetor. Right here's the front engine mount, and then we used the Ricochet skid plate that came with the TTR, and that just bolts right in. And I welded the rear mount to the frame, but the skid plate just bolts in. One criticism that might come up is the shifter is a little bit far forward. Stock shifter should be right here where your toe ends up, but you can see that would leave you way short on the lever. So I'm going to leave this right here as it is, and it's really, I think it's going to end up being handy because you're not going to kick it and accidentally shift it while you're out riding on the trail. As far as the shrouds go, I'm just going to leave the shrouds. There's nothing behind there, no radiators or anything. So, and they'll flap a little in the breeze, but that's okay. The handlebar controls, these are all TTR. And the wiring just tucks right in behind the number plate right there. And I just zip tied it. It'll be sufficient. Here's the start switch, here's the kill switch, and then here's the on button right here. Comes right on. Well, that wraps it up, guys. Hope the next video is of me on the trail with it. So I'll see you guys at that point.